Alright folks, welcome back to Platinum Push Time. Apologies I haven't uploaded for a good few days. I actually had a little break at the weekend there. I was away and I had absolutely no reception, so I wasn't playing raid at all for a good few days, which is actually pretty good for you, I think. Get some time away from the game, but I didn't even get my daily logins or anything. But I came back late Sunday night and I was able to get in a Platinum Push, a little bit rushed, and I must admit, because I've had a good few days off, I've kind of fallen behind with the meta a little bit. So I'm going to go into the Platinum Push after this. I still placed, but you'll see how I did. But I definitely got caught out this week by a lot of, yeah, the teams are pretty toxic right now. We've got a lot of Swift Parry, a lot of reaction. People are now building up really good reaction sets. Obviously with the AI change, it's totally changed it all as well. So it's like those three things combined to make it an extremely difficult meta just now. And the one team that I really wanted to quickly cover just now before we actually go into the video is the Hegemon teams. Now, Hegemon generally at top level seems to be used with his A1 as priority, which creates a lot of problems because they can just quickly decrease your turn meter using the mastery, and then they can, I think it's Evil Eye it's called, and then once they do that, they can boost him with the speed team, usually a Warlord in there, and then just lock you out completely. So it's pretty nuts. What I've quickly done here is probably should have done this before Platinum Push, but because I got caught out by that team so much, I've figured out at least one way to deal with it. It's not the ideal solution because you kind of have to decide whether or not you're fighting a Hegemon that's in A1 or an A2. Now, I will say at Top Platinum, when I was floating in the sort of top 100 on reset, the vast majority of them, like 90% of the Hegemon teams, were A1 Hegemons. But if you go into a fight that's an A2 Hegemon, you're going to lose with this team. So let's just quickly go over it. I mean, this is just a very, very quick example of one way to beat them. So this is an A1 Hegemon team here, and it's literally just chucking in my normal speed team. Now, the caveat with this is you have to be faster than them. So, but this is just my way of dealing with it. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Now, as long as you just run your normal speed team and just outspeed them, you're just going to beat them. I mean, it's that simple. That is probably, because I kept thinking of loads of different ways to try and beat them, but to be honest, it's just to absolutely outspeed them. And I actually hit the right button there. I was supposed to hit the A3, but I didn't hit the A3. So yeah, it is a very, very difficult team to deal with this because chances are at top plat you'll be fighting guys that've got insanely fast champions as well. So even if you do get past and it is an A1 Hegemon and he doesn't screw up your team too bad, then yeah, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and get through. So that's really the only way I can think of beating them just now. I'm sure loads of other people will come out with ways. I've still stuck Molly in there just because, you know, if his A1 hits 2 times at random, if they hit Molly, obviously you're going to get even more turn meter, so chances are you'll be able to boost past them, even if they are much faster than you. But it's at random, so it's quite difficult to, well, it's impossible to predict where it's going to go. That's the issue with it. But obviously, because of that, you don't actually have to run any of your team in immunity, but you do definitely run the risk of it going tits up if they are running an A2 Hegemon. So it's a difficult one, guys. Let me know in the comments below if any of you have figured out a decent way to deal with this. I know, obviously, Kaimar in like high resistance gear is probably one of the best ways, but people have covered that many times before. So I didn't really want to go over that one too much, but it might be quite a kind of gear intensive team if it's even possible, because you're going to have to get enough to, you know, make them that much high resistance, but you're going to get nuked because you're going to get locked, but they're also going to be so much faster than you. So it's quite a difficult meta just now, quite difficult. But if I could go back and do this Platinum reset again, I think just using this basic team without any immunity, any of that kind of stuff, and just against all these A1 Hegemons probably would have been fine. And my Arbiter is pretty fast. I'm not going to go into detail of how fast she is because that would be stupid, but yeah, mine is pretty fast, so I'm able to kind of outspeed most of these guys. And obviously having Molly in there, it just gives you that little bit extra chance to get a real good turn meter boost. But anyway, let's just get on with the Platinum push, and let's see how we did. Right, so here we are back with the Platinum push just now. I started a little bit late into this one, so this is actually just the last 10 minutes. Just going up against a force heavy team here. Using Lydia as well. Nice, easy 4-second farm. Using the Gurp Tuck. I do feel I might switch back to Madame pretty soon because there's some pretty tough teams that I've encountered on this reset. I played for like sort of 10 minutes before just getting up to this point. That's where I had a lot of the Hegemon losses. Because I was trying out a new team with Molly and Yannicka that I was using as my nuker, as my immunity nuker, but then I quickly realised, oh wait, everyone's using A1 Hegemons now, so it's completely changed. Just falling behind with all the new meta shifts in the last little while. But yeah, Gurtuk's still strong, but I think against certain teams I need to pull in Madame just because I'm needing the decreased defense as well. And I'm able to get Ethos to a much higher attack soon as well. So this was pretty much a big fail here. Just not enough damage. So I think I probably should be leaving this fight already. If not, yep, leave it. That's it. Good choice. Yeah, the meta is difficult just now. You just don't know. It's kind of a. It's definitely RNG based because you don't know you don't know if the Swift Parry is going to counter off or not. B, you don't know what kind of reaction they've got on. Then C, stuff like the Hegemon, which is a much cooler in my opinion. You don't know if you've got an A2 Hegemon or an A1 Hegemon, or a lot of the time Relentless Hegemons, which are really good. They actually they can hit both before you actually get to have a go, which is really, really strong, but it's on a smaller percentage chance. So I'm trying to be a little bit picky about who I fight here. I did retire the Shamal team this week. It was just a little bit too slow last week. Sorry, not last week. I think the last time we used it, it was a couple of weeks ago now since we actually pushed Plat. And I found it was just becoming a little bit too slow with all these new crazy things. So just concentrating on this. Still don't have my Warlord, still don't have Sife, still don't have Trunda. So we're lacking a lot of these top guys. But I still like Ethos a lot. I think he's super strong. And I would probably still use him a lot even if I had Trunda. Because he does that. Now, I don't think, I can't actually remember if I fight too many more teams that are actually at that point of using the A1 Hegemon, sorry. That guy most definitely is. That's the sort of team you're looking at. No, yeah, anything with Warlord in it and like a speed lead, that seems to be pretty much an A1 Hegemon this week anyway. Now, unfortunately, got countered by Trunda there, which completely screwed us up. Otherwise, this would have been an easy fight. But in the break, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Put into gold 4, and we're like 5 minutes out, so a little bit panicky now. Countered by the Mountain King in that one. Block buffs up on everyone. So there we go. We've got reaction counter, proc, sorry, on Duchess. That's kind of my fault. I should, yeah, there we go. Blew them up the second time, but I should have mucked about with my ethos and gotten back down to a slower speed, because I think I actually changed them back up to 220 speed for my farming. There we go. Just that was just a straight up speed loss. If I was faster than him, I win. He was faster than me, so he wins. He must have been extremely fast. I'll give him that much because I have a fast arbiter at the moment. There we go. I mean, this is a quick team when it works. I do fight these Rotos teams because, and I'm hitting them with the A3 rather than the A2 because I've got them set up for the A3. I've got like no crit rate on this guy. And most of the time I get away with it, but I just about failed miserably here. This is the problem with Rotos. You can still do his madness and go off on one. But again, had a little break from the game for a few days and I feel a little bit out of the loop. Not been keeping up with the meta shifts. So didn't feel I was at my best this week at all. I hadn't played about with my team at all since the last time I pushed reset, to be honest. So this week the plan is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to really make some drastic changes, especially to my defense. I've been trying a good few new defenses and yeah, they're just not working. So that's one of the reasons I'm not doing as well at the moment, because my defense isn't really holding up at the moment. Getting some nice quick offense wins, but I'm just dropping down But my offense has been terrible this week, to be honest. A slower nuker, a little bit more control, probably Madame, I think, instead of Gurtuk, just because there's so many times they're coming back and the decrease attack will be huge. Um, so there, we're losing 1 in gold 4 again. That's how bad we're doing. Should never have lost that fight. But I'm at that point, it's kind of panic stations. I'm pretty sure I can win all the fights, so I'm just going in and just hitting auto and seeing what happens. See if we get encountered with everything. Not one of those days. These are some easy teams though, so not really worth commenting on. They're just a couple of second farm teams. 5 seconds for that one. This should be super quick as well. But especially this early on in the clan versus clan sort of meta, I would call it. Here we go. I got some pretty easy teams to fight here, which is very lucky. Not really ideal for climbing though, because I'm not being given very many points for beating these guys. But a win's a win at this point. I just want to place. We're only a few minutes out of reset, and we've not done spectacularly well this week. So I kind of just want to ensure that I actually place in platinum rather than fall out of it. But most of my friends that are playing just now, they've been saying the same thing. It's been much more difficult. It's a strange meta just now. I think you won't see as regular people in the sort of top 100 anymore, just because it seems to be so RNG based. You're always going to have the sort of top 20-ish that are doing well just because they've got such insane gear and such good stuff. They're going to do well, and obviously they're very good. But yeah, I think the rest of them, it's going to be a bit random now, just because, well, depends if your Swift parries proc, it depends if your reaction procs, all these sort of things. Nice quick one there, 4-second farm. Right, I think we're just a couple of minutes out now, not too long to go. We've got the Vogoth team. Now, unfortunately did get absolutely wiped out, but he forgot to set, well, I did lose that one because of the poisons, but just a note to anyone using Candrafon, make sure you disable that A3, because you want him to come in and hit them with the A1 right away. So this is actually the last fight. I just had like 10 seconds to go, so I thought for whatever reason I'd chuck in this team, see if I could get a really quick one, but I did not get a really quick one, and yeah, it just all went a bit pear-shaped, so I'm just going to skip this one. Right, so here's the end of that fight. And yes, we go and check out our placing. Stayed in platinum at least. 205. Yeah, so wow, we actually got the other avatar this time though, which is pretty nuts. That's oh, God knows how many times I've placed in platinum now, and that's only just getting the second avatar. I know a lot of people that have placed just as many times as me and haven't had a single avatar, so I guess I'm quite lucky that way. But I think they need to up the drop rate on that just a tad, especially for people coming in like first, second, or third, because that's a serious achievement, and they should have a much better chance of getting the big red avatar or whatever it is from them. But yeah, so some decent pieces, mostly Swift parry, which is good, but not too happy with placing 205, obviously. Like I mentioned before, I'd like to be placing in the top 100, but the meta shift has kind of pushed me out just now. I seem to be floating in the sort of mid-tier platinum level, so really need to reassess all my teams. So here is my defense. It was kind of a bit of a random defense this week, but it didn't do very well. Picked up an odd couple of wins here and there, but yeah, it's just not doing what it needs to do, and it's been attacked. Not a crazy amount, not gonna lie. It wasn't attacked a lot, but it was attacked and not won very many. So yes, unfortunately, needs a little bit of a rework. I think it was one of those defenses that could have caught certain people out, but most of the people fighting me at that point kind of knew what I was doing, so they were able to play around it. But yeah, anyway, guys, that is the platinum push for the week. Hope you guys did well. Please leave in the comments below, if you've found out any way to deal effectively with this Hegemony 1 type team with the speed and Warlord, or it's basically Warlord you're having to deal with just now. He's so obscenely overpowered. And I'm not just saying that because I don't have him. He is extremely overpowered at the moment. Although I do keep seeing a lot of people that haven't set his priorities right, so I shouldn't really be telling people to do that because it's quite handy that they don't do that. But yeah, I mean, you have to really set his priority right now that you have the opportunity to, and then he's not unbeatable, but he's as close to unbeatable as a champion as you get. If they set it up right, if you have the right gear and the right champs, you can make a pretty insane team. Now, using the Hegemon A1, it's just pretty crazy. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you have a great day. Take it easy. Peace.